Greetings and salutations, and this is the technical... I almost called myself the technical gamer. Anyway, this is Technical here, back with more Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. The cutscene's about to begin, so I won't be talking for much at the beginning of this. Going off of the last video, all this commentary is recorded in post. Just thought I'd put that out there. So, like, if it sounds like I'm not talking, if it seems like I'm not talking about the game and all that shit, that's why. So, yeah, I'm gonna let the cutscene play.
Dingo dial?
Easy, chums. If I was here to fight, you'd be Cactus.
He's with me. Found him lost out there. Caught him up on the whole time-space, you know, thing.
Yeah, just trying to get home. I was enjoying the retired life, see?
Got it. Our bad guys had to change a heart, too.
Bad guy?
Silence, whelp. But sir! You try my patience, Oxide. But no. I'm sure this insect knows how to obey an order.
Entropy!
Take your ship to planet Bermugula and be on the lookout for ships approaching the Rift Generator. We can't afford any unwanted visitors.
At once, your foulness.
You manage our affairs with such poise.
Naturally, as do you. Ah. Barf.
Anyways, also going off the last video, aside from the commentary thing, we are putting 3 parts together this video. Currently I have 5 parts recorded, all the way up to the first level of the next area. So that's all 4 parts of this area, and then the first part of the next area. The next video is just gonna be it's just gonna be a level and a boss. This video is gonna be 3 levels, just like the last one. So I just thought I'd explain that. But anyway, this area was actually more fun to go through again, if I'm being honest, because I remember these levels in particular being really annoying. These space themed levels that you go through. Right now we're on Oxide Station, basically. Oxide Space Station. Because the entropies are I guess they're holding him hostage. So yeah. Sorry if you hear any mic stuff going on. I'll probably stop the commentary every few minutes to check the mic, to check if the mic picked up any of the past few minutes. Or I might do it every level, actually, because every level in this video is going to be like 8 to 10 minutes, so might do it every level. Yeah, these guys, if you can't tell by this by the last video, this video, and the video that's coming after this, I'm out of practice with Crash 4. Like, I really am, because I stopped playing this game for like 2 or 3 months. The last video before this one, the first 2 levels of that video were recorded like 2 or 3 months ago, and then the last level was recorded, as the time I'm recording this, it was recorded 2 days ago. So, and the commentary for that was recorded yesterday. So I'm getting these out fast. YouTube has given me access to, I don't know, I think it's just a new feature that I'm allowed to schedule uploads. But since I'm allowed to schedule uploads now, I want to schedule 3 videos of Crash 4 a week. So I'm trying to get them edited, put the commentary, all that in them, get them up for the entertainment. Now see here, this is my least favorite mask. I think I've stated that before, the gravity mask. Or I might not have stated it before, because this is the first time we get to use the gravity mask in the game. but which is a good thing, honestly. I'm glad that it's the least used mask because I honestly don't like it. I honestly like I like Capunawa and Lenny Lolly the most because I feel like the gimmicks they have for the gameplay just work better. Akano just seems like a glorified tornado spin from Crash 3, if I'm being honest. Except he can break through things that regular Crash couldn't. And what's his name? Ika is not fun to use at all. He'll be a little fun to use coming up soon, but he's not fun to use in these space levels, I'll tell you that. He's kind of fun to use in the food court levels because they get more creative with how you use them. But these levels, no, he's not fun to use here, I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep honesty here. I just do not like Ika. Now this level in particular, Ika segments are fine. I think it's the third level of this area has. I say that as I die. Actually, no, let me take that back. I did cut out some deaths a couple times in this video, but I made sure to keep the death timer in so you knew how many times I died. Because, you know, I didn't want it to make it look like, oh, I did this on my second try, yeah, I'm not good, no. No, this right here took me 5 tries. So, I wasn't gonna hide that. Or 6 tries, I believe, because I think the 4th death was the first death, and then the 9th was the last one. But at this point, we got this checkpoint right here, which definitely helped out a lot. Spin that guy away. Did we go about that? See, something I was having trouble with this level, since I just came back to playing Crash 4, and this was the first level that, like, you had to wall run from the point I was starting at. It was really finicky for me because wall running in this game is something you got to get used to. And if you're not used to it anymore, it'll be really obnoxious. Like, this section isn't even bad because of Ika. It's bad because because I was bad at wall running. Like, the section itself is not bad. If I had the grip on wall running that I have doing the food court level, that'll be in the next video. If I had that same grip on wall running, I would have had a blast doing this level. I ain't gonna lie. So it's not Ika's fault. It's me being out of practice with wall running, and it has to do with wall running and not Ika. So I just thought I'd point that out because I don't think any of the masks in this game are bad. Honestly, I don't. I think Ika and Akano, another reason I like them a little less is because to me, they don't feel like they're as useful. And I think that's why, if you'll notice throughout the game, there's like more, like Capunawa, once Capunawa is unlocked, almost every level following has a Capunawa section. And then when you since you unlocked Lanny Loli early on, he has a lot of sections too. Both those masks have a lot more sections than the other two, and I think it's because they're more well implemented, in my opinion. And I think the developers knew that, so they were like, yeah, these guys, they need to have more sections. Because that's something I just noticed as going through these past few levels, is that I feel like you play Ika a lot in these levels, obviously, because you just got him, but at the same time, you're using Lanny Loli and Capunawa more often than Akano. Akano feels like he's hardly used past the Tranquility Falls levels, if I'm being honest. But yeah, my favorite mask overall probably is Capunawa. Character-wise, it's Lanny Loli, but ability-wise, it's Capunawa because I like the challenge of slowing time to platform. I like that. If I'm being entirely honest, I really like that gimmick. It also kind of reminds me of Mind Over Mutant a bit, and I'm not one of the people who hate that game. I actually kind of liked Mind Over Mutant. Well, I liked it to a point. I don't think I'd go back and ever play it again, but I liked certain aspects of it. I liked Embryo in that game. Embryo was just fantastic in Mind Over Mutant. And I loved the time, the mutant who could slow time, the Grimly. I loved that mutant. That's probably where things I love about the game kind of end, because after that it's just stuff I like, stuff that's okay, and stuff that is kind of meh. I'm being honest. I like Crash of the Titans better between the two. For reasons. It feels like it's a lot better. More fun to play and all that. Feels like it's more balanced. Plus, there's the fact that I actually really do prefer the platforming Crash games over those two. So, there's that too. Anyway, we've beaten that level. That's good. That's good, that's good, that's good. Anyways, we're moving on to the next level, Stowing Away. Actually, I believe this level starts off with a cutscene, so I'm gonna have to shut up again. So that's fun. Luckily, I have my controller in a position this time where I can sit straight up. Last video, I had to lean over. But I got in a position where I can sit straight up today, so I'm much more comfortable while doing this commentary.
It looks like we're en route to the rift generator, but we'd be a lot faster in that. What the? Tawna?
I'm not losing you guys in this dimension too. I'll handle this.
But we're a team.
Oi! What'd I miss?
You know it's bad when Cortex looks sympathetic for both of them, which is a detail I've never noticed until just now. Cortex literally looks at Crash and Coco with sympathy, and that's a bit surprising, honestly, especially since, actually, I'm not going to talk about it, just in case no one's seen this game before. Even though I could almost assume if you're watching this Let's Play, you've probably played it or seen it before. But yeah, especially because of events coming up, it's surprising to see Cortex look sympathetic for Crash and Coco. It's really surprising, honestly. And also, something I need to comment on is what just happened there. I was wondering what I was hearing. Okay, never mind. It's fine. What if you hear something in the background? It's nothing. It's fine. But what I was saying is, a moment ago, I just had Crash bounce off of a bounce crate, I believe, onto one of the flaming crates. Up here's a hidden gem, by the way. I completely came up here by accident. So, yeah, there you go. Either that's the hidden gem, which I think it is because it says I have the hidden gem, and I don't think. I think that's where the hidden gem is in this level. If it's not, then that's something that activates something else. But I don't know. It sounded like a switch crate, but it also sounded like I collected a gem. So I can't tell which it was, you know. I think what happened was I activated a switch crate and it made a gem appear, and that's the hidden gem. But I could be very wrong on that. I think this is the level in this world I had the least trouble with, or I had the least trouble with from memory. This part right here I fuck up a few times because I just don't think straight in this section. I wasn't thinking straight, I was just being dumb. It wasn't me, it wasn't like anything I was actually struggling with. For some reason I just lost all skill during this section. I remember when it happened too, I was like, why do I keep failing this? Like, I was doing so good at this point. Why do I keep failing this part? Of all parts. That part? Not sorry. But,
Stolen this here. My wife's gonna kill me.
my 6th cart stolen this year. Is that really something you're concerned about, Oxai? Wait. See, something I find funny about that is that Oxai's supposed to be the fastest racer in like the galaxy, I believe. And if he loses his car like 6 times a year, it's just kind of ironic seeing what he is, like seeing his profession and shit. He's basically a professional racer, but he loses his car 6 times a year. Something about that is just hilarious to me. Now, at first, I'm gonna be honest here. At first, I was actually gonna try this bonus room. Then I realized how this bonus room had to be done, and then I already fucked up. So I just decided to hell with it. We're giving up. Like that. That's basically what I did. I also didn't notice I had a Kano on this part. So if you're wondering why I'm not using him, that's why. For some reason, I just didn't notice I had a Kano for a good minute. I'll notice it here soon. But you know, I didn't notice it for a good minute. That's when I noticed I had a Kano. I was like, wait, I have a Kano. Why am I just not doing shit? You know, like why am I doing shit the hard way? Oh, we got Ika again. If this is the part I think it is, this part's not that bad, honestly. Yeah, this part was actually kind of clever. I kind of like this part. I feel like this puzzle is kind of fun, if you know how to do it. I know how to do it, but for some reason, I forgot that you get crushed on that second one. So I just kind of I kind of just failed that. This time around, since I know I have a Kano, I just kind of rushed through this part. And there's no reason I'm really getting all these boxes, because I haven't really been trying to get the box gems on, or the crate gems, whatever you want to call them, on any of these levels for a good bit. I think the last level I tried to get the box gem on in the game is Stay Frosty. That was the final level that I got it on. I didn't get it on every level up to that point. I'll specify that. I did not get it on every level up to that point, but that's the point where I was like, you know what, any level harder than this, I don't think I want to get the box gem on. So, Stay Frosty is my limit, because I love Stay Frosty. The level is fun now that I know how to play it. It's just great. It's just great, man. Asteroid field. Asteroid field, you say? Abandoned ship. What he says next is actually kind of funny. Unbuckle those seatbelts and fix my shit. Guy tells his crew to buckle their seatbelts for safety. And then a moment later, unbuckle your seatbelts, risk your lives to fix my ship. That's just funny to me. I'm gonna be honest, that's funny to me. I feel like Oxide has some pretty good lines in this game. A lot of characters really do. I definitely feel like characters like Cortex and Embryo definitely benefited from this game's writing. Because, I'm gonna be honest, as good of a voice actor Maurice LaMarche is, Embryo, the fact that they just reused Embryo's lines from the original trilogy and the Insane trilogy just kind of shows, because the writing's not that clever. It's just like, it's just base level what's going on while throwing in the characters' personalities. But what I like about Crash 4 is it takes kind of like a Crash to Insanity approach, and where it like almost all the dialogue with each character shows like makes their personality shine, which is something I really love about Crash 4. I think Crash 4 actually does it better than Twinsanity because Twinsanity had some characters that didn't get enough screen time, like Engine, Embryo. Embryo didn't even talk in that game, and Entropy and Dingodile. Like, for fuck's sake, Dingodile and Engine only speak once in the... Well, no, Engine speaks twice. I forgot. He speaks near the end of the game. But, like, those 4 characters speak at most twice in the whole game. This game has all 4 of those characters shine, and I love that. The only thing I kind of wish Crash 4 had that it doesn't, I kind of wish Tiny returned. Like, that's the one character that I'm like, I kind of wish Tiny was a boss, because don't get me wrong, I love the bosses in this game, and the way the boss characters are portrayed in this game are fantastic. I love how this game portrays Cortex, Engine, Embryo, and Entropy. I love how they're portrayed. But we could have used some non-scientist bosses. You know, like Tiny Tiger or Ripperoo. I know Ripperoo was cut from the game, but I feel like Tiny Tiger would have been a nice boss to have. Given that at the end of Crash 3, Tiny's currently, you know, loyal to Cortex. So it would make sense that, like, Cortex would have Tiny on his side. In my opinion. But that's just my thoughts. That's just my thoughts, honestly. Ripperoo would have also been a nice boss to have. I know he was basically cut, and now he's just like a cameo in one of the levels. I forget which level. I forgot what the level's called. It's a level we've already passed, so it don't matter too much. But Ripperoo and Tiny Tiger would have definitely made great additional bosses to this game, in my opinion. Mini bosses kind of like Louise, you know, mini bosses like that, where they just have a few hit points. They would have been great for that. I feel like Tiny in particular would have been great in the prehistoric era somehow. But at that point of the game, Cortex is already defeated. Maybe Entropy convinces Tiny to stay on his side or something. Or maybe another idea that could work is that Tiny could have been a little boss at the end of the pirate area. I forget which area that Louise was a boss on. That's what I'm trying to remember. Was a mini boss on. I don't count Louise as an actual boss, he's a mini boss, but I feel like Ripperoo and Tiny would have made like the perfect mini bosses to have added to the game. So that's just my thoughts. Tiny is just a really iconic character in my opinion, and it just kind of sucks that he wasn't in this game, because they have all the other iconic characters here, they just don't have Tiny. Even Ripperoo's here, like it's just a cameo, but yeah, he's here too. You're just missing Tiny when it comes to the iconic characters, because you already have Engine, Entropy, Embryo, Cortex, Dingodile, Crash, Coco, Aku Aku, Uka Uka, Ripperoo, technically speaking. You have Nina Cortex in the post-credits scene. I honestly would have loved seeing Nina in this game to some capacity as well, even if it was just like for one cutscene. Or a cameo like Ripperoo. I know she had, I know like her appearance in the post-credit scene. Not the post-credit scene, but in the 100, I think it's 102% ending. I've seen the 100 and 102% endings for this game because I don't plan on completing it that way. I just plan on completing the story and leaving it at that. But I've seen those endings. And I know that Nina's appearance in the, and I think it's still, actually, I think it's the 100% ending. I know that her appearance in that is technically a cameo, but I'm talking about, like, in-game cameo, you know? Or, like, a one-off cutscene appearance, perhaps. I don't know. I just feel like there was missed potential for Nina and Tiny in particular. Same. Ripperoo, we at least got an in-game model cameo, so not too upset about that. And to be honest, I love that Dingodile and Cortex are the quote-unquote villains that get the most focus, because they are them alongside Embryo are my 3 favorite Crash characters. So I like that Cortex and Dingodile get a lot of focus in this game, so I'm not exactly complaining that, like, they decided to cut out other characters, because I get why they did. I kind of get why they did. They probably didn't want to, you know, probably didn't want to make the game feel padded. And if they added additional bosses, it probably would have felt like there was a little padding, because they might have had to add a few more levels to go with the bosses or something. For all I know. So, in the end, I'm not upset that Tiny and Nina didn't get in-game appearances, but I kind of wish they did, because Tiny and Nina are iconic characters in my eyes. We got all the other iconic characters, we just didn't get them. Pinstripe would have been another cool character to have in the game, because given that he wasn't really used much after CTR. So it would have been nice to also see Pinstripe appear again, maybe the Komodo Bros. But those are like lesser, those are ones that I wouldn't want to see as much. I would mainly want to see them to see what they do with them, rather than like actually want to see them, like I would Tiny and Nina. I'd be interested to see what direction they take Pinstripe and the Komodo Bros. Because those are, I feel like those characters have potential. So maybe like in the future they'll use them again in a mainline title. Perhaps in the sequel to Crash 4. Because we all know Crash 4 is getting a sequel. It's inevitable. It might be years from now. It might not even be the next Crash game. The next Crash game could be a spin-off again for all we know. I actually really want a party Crash game, a Crash Party game. And I don't mean like Crash Boom Bang or Crash Bash. I mean a good Crash Party game. And I apologize to anyone who's fans of those games. I'm not saying this to basically say those, like, I'm not saying this to say you shouldn't like those games. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I think those games suck. And I respect, if you like those games, I respect your opinion. So, please respect mine. But, I would love to see a Crash Party game done right in the next few years, if I'm being honest. And I think that would be the perfect next direction. I feel like for Crash Bandicoot, they should do a party game in between Crash 4 and 5, have it developed by a different developer than who develops Crash 5. Or it might, I know it's probably not going to be called Crash 5, it's probably just going to be Crash Bandicoot subtitle, kind of like the games after CTR originally were. But still, I think Crash deserves a good party game before going on to the next mainline game. And I think it'd be a good time to, it'd be a good way to give them more time to develop the next mainline game. Because I know CTR was released while they were in the process of making Crash 4. So they could do something like that. Have a different team of developers develop Crash, the Crash Party game, and then have Crash, the next mainline Crash game, come right after. That would, in my opinion, that'd be a really smart decision. Especially considering a lot of people want, well, not a lot of people, but some people want a Crash Bash remake, so I think that'd be better than a Crash Bash remake. But I'm gonna end off the video here.